Good morning. It's Pastor Marty from the Afternoon Drive. Well, Trump's summer of revenge has gotten started, and we aren't even to June yet. Now, despite the Democrats bringing contempt charges against the Attorney General, William Barr, he is moving forward on his promise. He's going to get to the bottom of why was the Trump team under surveillance by the FBI and the other, shall we say, intelligence agencies. What was it that caused them to believe that there was some type of Russian collusion going on and he needed to be spied on, despite the fact that even current FBI director appointed by Donald Trump, Christopher Wray, doesn't like to use that word spy because that's not what the FBI does. And you got James Comey out there. We don't spy. Yes, they do. Call it surveillance, call it whatever you want, call it keeping tabs on, call it investigating. It's spying. They were spying on a private citizen, Donald J. Trump, and now they need to answer the why, and not the fake phony dossier. It's time to get to the real bottom of this. And William Barr was very serious about that. That's why the Democrats went into panic mode, and like a wounded animal trapped in a corner, they're not just whimpering and cowering in their wound, they're lashing out because they don't want William Barr to get to the bottom of this. Why? Because so many are in this up to their eyeballs that are part of the Washington elite. And we're going to find out even Rhino Republicans, hint, John McCain, we're going to find out that even Rhino Republicans were part of this entire coup attempt of a sitting U.S. president. And they started the coup before the guy ever even got elected, which means in the back of some of their minds, they had to know that Hillary was not in the strongest position to actually win the presidency. All that has to be kept in mind, because had she been elected, we would know none of this. Now, William Barr has appointed U.S. Attorney John Durham. Now, here's a guy who got his appointment with a nearly 100% approval from both Republicans and Democrats. So it'll be interesting to see if now the Democrats like Jerry the Nads Nadler, Adam Schiff for Brains, Chuck E. Cheese Schumer, Nancy Botox Pelosi, Mad Maxine Waters, well, they run to the nearest microphone and start screaming that he's a Republican hack, that he's just carrying Trump's water. John Durham, what has won him so much appeal is the fact that he really does appear to come across as very non-political, non-ideological. He follows the law. He is the go-to U.S. attorney when municipalities are investigating police corruption. He went after the CIA for destroying surveillance tapes. Oh, what do we call that? Spying. So you have William Barr, who would not be intimidated by the Democrats, would not back down, will not turn over what they've asked for, because that would be an actual violation of the law. He cannot turn over information that was sealed and secured by grand jury testimony that reveals sources and methods of fact-gathering information. He can't do it. If they want to read the unredacted version of the Mueller report, there's a little room they can sit in, they can read it. The lying legacy mainstream media, the Don Lemonheads, the Rachel Madcows, they're not telling you that over on CNN and PMSNBC. So the Democrats have not been denied any access to information. What they can have is their own little copy that they can then hand to the media and put out for public consumption. Why? There are actually things in it that are not for public consumption. In fact, Robert Mueller even agrees with William Barr on that issue. There are things in there that can't go public. But you wouldn't know that based on what the lying legacy corporate corrupt media is telling you night after night after night after night after night. So William Barr won't back down on that. He won't turn over the note that he got personally from Robert Mueller. He won't share really the contents of their phone conversation. He doesn't have to. He's invoking executive privilege as per direction of the president, who has every right to do that. Every president before Trump has lived under executive order and executive privilege. Trump, during the entire witch hunt of Robert Mueller, never once invoked executive privilege, and he could have turned over 1.4 million pages of documentation. Every and any staff member that the Mueller investigation wanted to talk to was made available. They weren't just out of the country. They've left the administration. We don't know where they are. There was none of that hogwash that you normally get from career politicians. Trump let his staff open. Again, you're not hearing that in the lying legacy corporate corrupt media. That Trump has been incredibly transparent during this process. Is he fed up? Yes. Is he sick of it? Yes. Why? Because Mueller exonerated him on no collusion. It was within the Attorney General's purview to say no collusion, no obstruction. And by the way, they'd have a hard time proving obstruction in court because Trump never actually did anything to stop Mueller. Didn't do it. He did not try to stop him. So you can't cite obstruction because he sent out some mean tweets. And once in a while, he might have vented saying things like, I want this guy gone. If you've ever been harangued or harassed by someone, I'm sure you've said to a friend or two, I want this person gone. Trump let the process play out. There was no obstruction. That said, William Barr is making good on his promise. He's going to get to the bottom of why Trump was spied on. You know this all points back to Hillary Rodham Clinton, Barackmas Obamamus, the POTUS formerly known as 44. And of course, it was all carried out by James Comey. James Comey blew it, got himself fired. Mueller was brought in to cover up Comey's incompetence, the incompetence of the FBI, like Strzok and Page and the rest of that ilk that didn't want President Trump to even win the election, but had their backup plan B ready just in case, and they would have him out of there within a year under impeachment and hopefully under indictment and arrest. And it didn't happen. And Mueller was supposed to somehow shine up this pig and put lipstick on it and tell us this is what happened. You now have Rosenstein out there giving commencement addresses. And, he did, the headline and all the lying legacy corporate corrupt media was that Rosenstein quoted Robert Mueller. What they didn't tell you in that commencement address, that he went hot and heavy after Jim Comey. If I was James Comey, I would stop giving interviews. I would get off the book tour. I would stop going on the morning shows and trying to look like this constipated, empathetic, sympathetic. I'm the victim here because I was the most moral man in Washington and they wanted me gone. Now he's corrupt and vile up to his eyeballs, and I'd like to find out how much Clinton Foundation money ended up in one of Comey's bank accounts. Remember, he wrote her exoneration on the email servers before she was ever even interrogated by the FBI. And when she was interrogated, nobody took any notes in that meeting. Yet they surveilled Donald Trump. You have the IG report that's about to break, that's about to come out. And I'm told that the Inspector General's report is going to go right after how this whole coup attempt got started. Then, on top of all that, you still have Lindsey Graham saying he and his committee are going to get to the bottom of what happened. Rosenstein out there dogging on Comey. All fingers are going to point back to Comey. Now, here's what Comey is kind of stupid and hasn't figured out yet. While he was gathering evidence on Donald Trump and giving things to a friend to leak to the New York Times so that a special prosecutor would be appointed, I bet he didn't think to put anything away for a rainy day on Hillary Rodham Clinton. Because I promise you this, we all know that Clinton is in this up to her eyeballs, along with the former president. But when the wind finally begins to stir, and it's rumbling now, they aren't going to come out and defend Comey. Clinton, Obama, and the rest of that ilk, they will let Comey and his underlings, they'll let them take the fall. They're going to get thrown under the bus. I believe that James Comey will be the first wave to go to prison. John Brennan will be shortly behind. It's going to take a little finessing and finagling to get to Hillary Rodham Clinton, but that's coming. What a great summer this is about to be. That's it. That's my rant for this morning. Hey, please hit the like button. Share this channel with others. As I told you, YouTube is kind of messing with the algorithm. After I asked you to help me out yesterday, we picked up 3 new members, or I should say 3 new subscribers. We were averaging 100 a week. And, you know, this is the first 3 members we picked up now in over a week. They've messed with the algorithm. You can't find my videos unless you are specifically looking for them. So please spread the word about this channel. Share it, spread it, tell people about it. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notification of my next rant.